Hi everyone and welcome to the GameFace MPNFL Netball Show. We were lucky to have a preview this week of the upcoming season with Ryan Pearsdale facing off on the Saturday and Devon Meadows were hosting Kooringal on the Sunday. Let's jump straight into it and have a look at the results thanks to Swiv's Locker Scoreboard.
Alright, Rye christened their brand new courts as they hosted Pearsdale. We saw all of the senior grades filled, which was great. It's the first time that this has happened in many years. And it was Rye who took away the win over Pearsdale, but a small margin, only 5 goals. It was good to see a nice close game. Pearsdale got the win in the B grade by 9 and Rye took the wins for C and D grade quite convincingly.
I was actually a part of the A grade side last year for the first 6 games that we played and did captain the side for those first 6 games, so I'm back in the captain role this year, which is nice. It was a really good opportunity for our A grade girls that did play last year to go back into B grade and really focus on our skills there and then really kind of step up back into that A grade role this year, which is very exciting for the club to be back in that A grade role. So I guess a really kind of fitting first round for us to play against Rye, kind of really pit those 2 A grade sides together since we're, I guess, back new to the A grade level this year. Lots of new players, I'm sure, for both clubs as well, so it'll be really interesting to get out on the court and see how it goes.
And to Sunday's game, Devon Meadows got their only win for the day bright and early with the under-17s, and after that it was Kooringal all day in wet conditions. Credit to the Devon girls, they actually stuck it right to them in the A grade, gave them a real run for their money, and Kooringal only took away a 9-goal win. In fact, it was actually really even over the second half. There was only 9 goals apiece for the second half of the game. Chrissy, you were able to catch some of the game. What did you think?
Yeah, I headed down to the Devon Meadow courts on Sunday. I had to, I really wanted to go and watch my 2 favourite traders who left Somerville to play with Kooringal this year, who took to the court in the B grade. However, some of the key things that I think I took out of Sunday's games were that there's a really fantastic up-and-coming player that Devon Meadows have secured who was on the court for B grade. So her name was Renata Purcell, so I actually thought that she was a standout in the game that I watched. I believe that she's a Touradin player, so it's great to see some people coming across into our league from that competition.
Great.
The other thing that I saw from the competition was that the A-grade Premier Player bylaw kind of kicking in. It was the first time I think we'll see the evening out of the competition. Kooringal, who was so dominant last year in A grade, didn't take away the game with as big a margin as they possibly would have last year.
Yeah.
So that was really interesting to see, and I like to see how that plays out.
Yeah, well, that can only be good things for the competition if it's a little bit more even. We can see, some of the other teams coming up.
Yeah, I agree. So that was really great. And the other thing that I suppose from a player's perspective was just to throw it out there to everybody who's watching at home. There was a couple of calls made out on the court where players had tipped the ball out of the court. The umpire had called one decision. The player had put their hand up to admit that it was last off them and that it should be handed to the other team, which the umpire at that point in time refused to do. So the question that we ask you guys who are watching the show, whether one, do you admit when the ball comes off your hand during the game, or are you playing it to the nth degree for the entire time? And do you think the umpire should acknowledge the players when they're honest and they admit that it's come off them last? So we'd really like to hear what your opinion is on that. So if you could just go through to the GameFace Facebook page and let us know what you think.
Yeah. Leave a comment on the video because hopefully you're watching.
Yep. Great.
So as we look forward to tomorrow's games, we welcome Dramana to the Div 1 competition, who face Rosebud in their first round. After a top 4 finish last season, Rosebud are looking really strong. They will certainly be a team to watch this year, and of course Sorrento, who had a dominant 2018 season, will be looking to go one further.
And of course EDS and YCW have been dominant clubs in the A grade competition over the last few years in Division 1. and Dramana have got an impressive list that they're bringing into the Division 1 this year, so some new competition for you.
Definitely.
Yeah, so I know Carly Foster and Emily Wilson, both new players to the Casey VNL side, so they'll be lining up for Dramana, and I believe they've got a few extra top quality players. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Tricky but interesting.
Yeah, so maybe give EDS some run for their money in the upcoming season.
Yeah, well, they have been we have been quite dominant in the A grade for the last few years, but there's never been a lack of competition, but more competition is always better. So
help me out. Tell me, see if it's coming across to my division. What am I going to expect?
Look, I think they're going to bring a lot of good competition over there. They actually finished I think they finished third. Yes, they finished third last year, only 2 points behind Sorrento. So they're actually, a little bit quite achievers there. They're very good competition. I know they've got Taylor Robertson across their mid-court, who's really strong, and also Cara Hargrove is in defence. So they'll be a couple of toughies to beat. And so, I think they'll start in your division really well.
Okay, well, I've got them round 1, which tomorrow, so we'll look forward to seeing how that goes.
Very exciting, but it's a good challenge.
Yeah, fantastic.
Beautiful. So that's a really good insight into what we've got coming up this season in the 2 divisions. As for the rest of Division 2, we've obviously got the reigning premiers Coringal. They're always very strong. Also, Crib Point's very dominant, and Tyab have always been pushing for the top as well. So there'll be some really good competition there. And Langy actually finished top last year, but unfortunately didn't have that great a final series, so they didn't make the granny. So it'll be interesting to see how they go. I know it's early, but have you got any tips for the flag in A grade this year?
I think it's hard to go past, for me, Crib Point in our division. As much as I'd love Somerville to be up there as a finals contender, we're still nursing through some injuries, so I don't think we'll quite be there, but Crib Point for me definitely in Division 1.
Yes, fantastic.
And do you have a Division 1?
Yeah, I think Division 1 or Division 2? So that was Division 2.
Oh, sorry, Division 2. Yes.
Yep. So I actually really like to see how Langy responds. So finishing top, they've got high expectations on you coming to the finals, but obviously didn't cope with that so well. So it'll be interesting to see how they respond this year and if they can go all the way.
Yep, fantastic. And for Division 1, which was what I meant to say before, I'm going to go with the runners-up. I think Sorrento might just push over the line this year.
Yes, it is always a very motivating factor when you lose a grand final to come back and win, but I definitely can't go past my girls in A grade. I think EDS we're always a strong team, and hopefully they can keep it going this year.
Yep, fantastic.
So as we welcome a new season this coming week, and we're busy checking our bags, make sure we've got our dress, our shorts, our socks, shoes, all of the things, we've actually got an extra thing that we need to remember this year.
For away games this year, all our netballers will remember to pack an extra $10 because that will be the gate entry for all our away games. So this is the first time that netballers haven't received league passes to have free entry into the game. So please don't be too hard on the people who are on the gates. They're volunteers and it's a tough job.
It wasn't their decision.
So make sure that you've got that with you so that it's a nice, clean, easy entry into the courts.
Any thoughts on that new development, Christy? I've got a few.
Look, I think it was driven by the presidents of the football netball clubs. So it takes a lot of money to get all of the football and netball teams out onto the courts and onto the grounds. So this is definitely an area where they're looking to increase revenue. We'll see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting. Look, I think I can obviously understand that. I suppose from some clubs' perspective, I would think that it's a very tricky thing because they already have their players actually pay to play and pay for lots of things, and that's how they actually keep the club running. I know that's where we are as a club because we actually don't have home courts, so we don't get the advantage of people coming to our courts and paying money to come and see us play. So it'll be interesting how everyone responds to that, but I know for our club it's going to be a bit of a struggle because we have 200 plus fees, plus we've got our uniforms and all the things you have to pay for, and then on top of that we'll be paying other clubs to play now. So it'll be interesting development, and hopefully we don't lose too many girls because of it.
Yeah, I hope that this isn't something that would stop people from playing in our local competition.
Exactly. Alright, so now comes the exciting part of the evening. We are looking to introduce you to the rumour files this week. Very excited about this one. I'm hoping you guys have got some really juicy things for us in the coming weeks. And if you've got anything, definitely make sure you inbox the GameFace page. We want to find out about it, and it's all anonymous, so don't think you'll get in trouble because we won't be revealing who you are. we actually don't even know who you are. So.
That's right. So we're not here to weigh in on things, just simply bring them to light. So let's have a look at what's come through for week 1. So we've only been up and operating for a week, but there has been something that's come through.
In the sealed
so
envelope.
let's have a look what
I'm excited.
has come through this week. All right. Okay, so which Division 1 player that regularly finishes in the top of the League BNF will be taking quite a few weeks off the netball season this year?
Oh, in Div 1?
In Division 1.
Oh, okay. That'll be interesting.
So
development.
we'll have to think of whose finishes maybe top 5 of the League BNF.
Who's
and so that could open it up for somebody new to
maybe some of the
come
young
up into that prime prestige positions.
Fantastic. Well, guys, that's all we've got this week. If there's anything that you would like to put forward, just remember to inbox our GameFace netball page.
So don't forget, you've also got the GameFace MPNFL netball group where you can be posting scores, updates on game day, photos, milestone game celebrations and good news stories. So this is a great space made possible thanks to our sponsors Swizz Locker and Frankie Media. It's a great space dedicated to netball, so let's use it so that we can stick around. So that's all for us this week, and we'll see you next Friday night.
See you guys.